Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Refactorizing. As always, I'm joined by ColonelWill, who is meticulously concreting this area,
So
one tile at a time. We'll be here a while.
there's been some bits missed. I'm on
A
it.
little bit. So, of course, he's going to be super OCD and concrete it one tile at a time, make sure he doesn't miss anything.
All right, all
Um,
right. I'm on it.
Alright. Alright, so this is a factory submitted by Noodles, and it's pretty cool. There's not actually much in the way of corrections to go over. There's some pretty unique, cool things he's done here, and a few things that could be improved that we will, of course, highlight. But we're going to start here in the smelters, and this is actually a pretty interesting and almost a unique design in regards to what he's doing here. But it seems to work pretty well, and both of us like it quite a bit. So, I don't know if you want to go over this, Will. You want me to?
Um, yeah, I can. So the beacon layout is the same, almost identical to the latest one that we're using from Zuri, where you get 8 beacons for each either furnace or assembler or whatever. It gives you a craft speed of 9.4, which is pretty good. So that's about the same as what we do. But the thing that we like with it is the way the plates and belts are fed, like because we would do it bot based, and this is done belt, and it's very clever how the ore goes in only on one side. So one lane comes in direct from the train station, gets put onto the inside lanes, and then when the smelters output, they put it onto the outside of the lane, as an inserter will do. So it fills the outer lane back up with plate, and I'm going to assume that this is calculated perfectly to use up one blue belt of ore. It looks like it is.
Get up yeah, we didn't actually calculate, but it's probably pretty close.
It looks pretty good. And then he's used the old underground belt trick to block the inside lane, so the ore, any run over of the ore won't go past the edge, and then the plate gets put underground and goes back onto a belt, which is balanced in itself because it goes from top and bottom into a T-join. Just noticed actually he's got stack filter inserters only putting ore in so it doesn't make steel, which is, I hadn't noticed that. That's very clever.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a good system because it saves belt, right? If you're gonna do it belt based, it does save belt to do it this way because you're not having a separate one for iron and a separate one for the ore itself.
Yeah,
and then yeah,
very clever. I guess the train station is its own bot network. Maybe a little bit too much storage, but it's okay.
Yeah, so he's doing something interesting here. He has a trains drop off and into active providers. This is kind of like what we did on the Earth map for quite a while. And since they're active providers, it forces the stuff out, and the robots bring it over to storage. But it's its own bot network, so it's not like it messes up the rest of the system. And then what he does is he has requesters here that request, the max 2,000 ore from this network, and then they have inserters putting onto the belt. So it's an interesting way to do it. I guess maybe he just wanted a mixed system. I mean, personally, if I was going to do a belt-based smelter, I would probably just do belt-based unloading too. But
yeah, you might as well.
Yeah, but still, pretty cool. It does use a loop-based train system, but we've kind of gone over that. Not really worth getting into the argument again.
Yeah, and as they go, this one's not too bad. I've definitely seen some worse train designs. Either type, but yeah, this doesn't have too many issues.
And I actually just noticed it has a little fuel train, which is pretty cool. Comes around and fuels stuff.
Oh yeah.
So that's the smelters. The copper is identical, except obviously copper up top spits out. He does use these 8-lane balancers, which Zuri may disagree with, and I guess me at some point. But this is overall, pretty good balancer as far as they go.
Well, it is a Zuri design, so
yeah.
It's called the knot because it has the knot in the middle. That's what we call it.
Interesting. So not bad. Belt balancers like this are not as bad as the lane balancers. They are two different things. So not bad. And then the steel, uses the same concept as the iron. The iron comes in on one side, and then, picks up. Now he doesn't need filter inserters here, just because if you just can't smelt steel again, so it's obviously only going to pick up the iron plate.
That would be expensive if it did.
Yeah, no, wouldn't it give you? I don't even know what that'd give you, like titanium or something.
Yeah, hardened steel.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool actually, but
that's Bolt's mods, so we won't get into that.
Yeah. So yeah, this works pretty well. You did mention, Will, though, about the orientation. He could have changed it a little bit.
Yeah, if you rotated the steel build 90 degrees to the right, because at the moment the plate comes down out of the smelters, so you've got all this belt, then it goes back up again, and then the steel comes out the top, goes across, and then comes back down again. So it's up, down, up, down. Whereas if you just rotated the build, you could bolt the smelter straight onto the end. The iron plate runs out and then becomes the half mixed with the steel, and then the steel will just output over here, facing the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. It would save some belt for sure.
Yeah. I guess another thing to mention would be this amount of belt, from personal experience, will lag the game pretty soon if you're not careful with it. And a trick you could do to save that, and a good example would be this stretch here. If you just underground belt it, it doesn't look nearly as good, I admit, but it does save UPS until version 15.
Yeah, and with that, you'd mentioned to me it's kind of a little OCD, but it would, I think, save maybe a little belt if he.
It'd be the same. But
okay, same belt, but still a little more OCD friendly if that's your thing. To bring this straight out and down rather than curve, and then curve again.
Yeah, that's the old player in me from where turns were bad.
Yeah,
but it would just give you this space, basically. This because this is pretty unusual.
Right. So yeah, now we're over to green circuits, which again belt based. So it looks like he's kind of trying to do like mega base type designs with belt, which is pretty interesting. Overall, not bad. Correct ratio, beaconed max, I think, or close to it. 12 sources. Yeah, I mean that's 8 beacons per assembler. So that's good. Although one thing is this, as you can see, there's a lot of balancers and stuff in here. Now, some of it is probably needed, but stuff like this, and we've gone over this, I think, last episode, this side loading onto here is, I don't think, necessary.
Yeah, because I'm too fast for my own good. This is the first base I've got a power armor, and I'm too fast. So if I just take that splitter up, you see how that is balanced? Just grab myself some belt. If I just bring that down, there, it's already balanced because it joins from both sides. So you don't need to do this split it, join it thing. You could just run straight with it and it'll be fine. And that will save you belt each time and just looks tidier.
Yeah, and then to go with that, he's using a buffer storage here, which if this were the logistics system, I wouldn't have nearly as much issue with it, but it's steel boxes, so there's nearly 20,000 circuits in here that is literally just a buffer system, which, we've gone over, me and Zuri have gone over multiple times. This is not really a good thing. I don't think there'd be much issue or disadvantage to just outputting it directly rather than buffering it like this. Or if anything, at least make it, passive providers and limit it, either a hard limit or a logistical limit, because it is in the network.
I would hard limit it in this case, because if you logistic limit it, the bots are going to favor top or bottom.
Very good point.
And they're munched from one side.
So yeah, that's really the only complaint here. Overall, pretty good. It looks like it outputs 4 full blue belts.
Yep, definitely not fake on this one. On anything is this. None of this is fake. This is all...
Which is really nice.
Yeah, very refreshing. Yeah, I fixed this one up here. I won't do them all, but you can see how that's just less belt straight away.
Yeah, and it just kind of looks cleaner, I think. So yeah, that's good. Not much more to say about this. I like how he kind of colored lights accordingly. Green lights with green circuits.
Yep.
Like, I don't think they actually do anything.
No, I can't see nothing. They're just connected to this common output screen.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then we come over to red circuits, which is pretty good. You know, productivity module, speed beaconed. It is max beaconed except for the cable one, which is missing beacons. It doesn't actually need them. We tested this, and this cable can support these. However, you could, if you just wanted all of them max beacon, you can fit extra beacons on the ends here to actually give these cable their max effectiveness.
Yeah, it's a little bit short, but because it's got one here, but if you had one there and there, it would be the same as the others, but you don't need it.
No, we purged this and tested it, and they all worked good. You know, he's just merging cable onto the plastic and circuits, which is nice. You know, again, not many corrections to do here. This is a pretty neat kind of little mini or starter mega base.
Yeah, definitely a very powerful starter base if that's the intention. Or a mega base that not massive but would have good throughput and being belt based as well, which has a lower hard limit in size than a bot based one.
So, you know, as far as doing a belt base, he's done quite well. Now these blue chips are a bit, well, this has speed modules, and I think that was just an oopsie, because all these have productivity. There'd be no reason for one to have speed, but I think he could have done a lot more efficient beaconing. You can see these only have craft speed of 3, and their effect sources is like 8 at the most. Sometimes some of them are 7, and that's because he's put the pipe in between here, so these are spaced differently, whereas these others are, you know, right up against each other.
Yeah. Also, there's too much draw on this for one belt of circuits. When we did a little test, they just destroy this belt of circuits, and these end ones will get starved, so it won't even run for this length.
Yeah, I'm purging the belt down here so we can...
Yeah, it's already empty of circuits.
Yeah, these things take a ton of circuits.
Yeah, you would need to bring another circuit belt in and take over halfway.
Yeah, so this is this is the one problem with, you know, mega base belt base designs is this type of thing is logistically it becomes very difficult or even impossible in some situations to feed this with just belt.
Yeah, I think the answer to this really is to make blue circuits like with the green in one go.
Yeah.
I think we did that in, I've done that in one of my maps, I forget which one it was. SpaceX 1 maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, we come down here, there's rails, you know, this is great for me, dangerous. And with nice little belt thing with this is we've seen this in actually probably most of the maps we've gone over.
Yeah, but I like how he's gone he's productivity the gears and sped them up rather than have like the normal 5 or so gear factories. Sped them up and getting the productivity out of them.
Yeah, that's really good. And this is by no means, I mean, this is a good design.
Yep.
It works well.
Just wanted one thing he could have done. He could have requested the previous models in to recycle and then use splitter preferences, circuit conditions. So that it would use up the old ones first.
That's a good point. Yep.
Because I'm assuming he wouldn't. It's blue or nothing nowadays.
So we have that. Over here, we have a nice make everything factory, which does seem to be pretty much bot based, and it is almost everything or everything.
I got everything I asked for, including a power armor. I'm fast.
Yeah, me too. This is one of the first bases where we've been able to get a power armor, which is great.
Yep.
And it looks like he's randomly speeded like the engine machine.
I think it's because of the red engines are needed for a lot of stuff, like the legs and.
Yeah, and bots. Speaking of bots.
Yes, bots. All the bots.
He's requesting 30 and 30. It's not bad by any means, but he hasn't capped the insertion. So this is flooding the logistics network to the point where it can't insert anymore, and we have 6,700 logistic and over 7,000 construction bots in this network. Which,
I'm pretty sure in this day and age, with the version we have, you can rig it up to the circuit condition.
Yep.
And control the amount of read robot statistics. There you go. We click on that robot.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use X, Y, Z, and T to control the number of bots. So if you had a separate insert, one for logi, one for construction, you can limit the number of bots. Well, sorry, read off the network and read how many bots are available. So if it's less than 50 available, it'll add more.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can do it even off a total amount if you'd prefer that.
Yeah, because the problem with doing it, as we'd say, doing it done, is you can flood the network, which I've done in my old mega base by accident, trying to beat Demon and his bots. It didn't work. I flooded my network. Basically, what happens is every time a bot leaves this network, another one gets put back in. That's fine. The one that left will find a new home, but eventually, all your robobots will fill up, and you'll be left with a swarm of bots that are homeless. And then they'll stay active because they're homeless.
Yeah, exactly.
And they keep putting more in the Roboport network.
Yeah, looking at all these, every single one of these ports is full.
Yeah, it's already happening.
Yeah. So. Yeah. This using this logistic or this circuit condition with this logistic network is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then these modules. So this is an interesting belt design. It's actually kind of cool looking. It reminds me of some like crazy octopus thing or something. But this is one of those cases, and me and Zuri covered this in a workshop where we went over a module design. This is a case where I think they didn't notice the different crafting speed of the modules. If we look, right, speed module 2s require 4 speed module 1s, and you can see he's built 4 speed module 1s to his module 2, but what you need to look for is the crafting speed. The module 2 takes 30 seconds, whereas the module 1 takes 15. So it takes half the time, and this requires 4. So it means you actually only need 2 level 1 machines, right? Because this makes 2 level 1s in the time that this makes a level 2. So with 2 of these, you make 4 in the time that you make 1 of these, and it's the correct ratio. And then the same thing applies for this. So it's kind of... It sounds really weird when I try to explain, like, the overbuilding here, because it's really overbuilt in some areas and then like underbuilt in others, right? So the pretty standard ratio with speed modules, because they're different than the productivity and efficiency. The ratio for speed modules is 1 level 3 to 2 level 2s to 4 level 1s. Or you can obviously multiply that out how many times you want. So he has the level 3 here, but then he has double the level 2s he needs, and then like quadruple the level 1s he needs. So if he has 4 level 2 machines, if you put another level 3 here, that would be the correct ratio with that, but then you just need to remove 2 level 1s from each of these because it's overproduction. However, one thing you could do though, and I think you'd probably agree with this, Will, is with these level 1s that you're overproducing, you could stick these in logistics network because they are needed for level 3 assemblers and the rocket control units and such.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be enough overproduction to make for the rocket parts, but definitely for your level 3 of factories. I'm not really sure where they're coming from.
Right here. Or you mean the speed
the
modules?
The speed modules, yeah, for the level 3 assemblers. I can't see them made out somewhere else, so it must be doing that, but I don't see where.
I don't see where either. It might be hidden away somewhere. So that's the speed ones, and then the productivity and efficiency. He's used the same exact build, which is just like right off the bat a bit of the wrong ratio, because the efficiency and productivity, right, it's a little deceiving. You have to look closely at this, and I still don't know why it's this way. The devs know it's this way, and they don't change it. But so the level 2 efficiency module and productivity module take for the level 1, which is the same as the speed ratio. However, the last one, level 3 efficiency and level 3 productivity, take 5 of the previous level, whereas this one only takes 4 of the previous level. right? So the ratio is different. For these, it's 1 level 3 to 2.5 level 2s to 5 level 1s, or, since you can't really do 2.5 machines, typically it's preferred to do 2 level 3s to 5 level 2s to 10 level 1s. So this could be changed, obviously, a little bit. Not like a huge deal. You're just kind of overproducing, but it is worth mentioning just for anyone, who didn't know. It is pretty easy to kind of look over these, overlook these crafting speeds and amount required.
Yeah, I missed it when I first started playing. It was
Yeah,
a bit
me
of
too.
a what?
Yeah, what? And it's really weird. Like, I don't know why the speed module is a different ratio than the other two. So that's really deceiving. If they're just trolling.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. The devs know about it. It's been mentioned tons of times, and they don't change it.
It's been there since the beginning of time, so...
Yeah. So I'm not really sure. Maybe it's because, like, speed is used in more, so they want it cheaper. I don't really know. But either way, that can be deceiving, right? Because it looks like maybe he built the speeds first, and he just assumed that these were all the same ratio.
And they are first on the crafting menu, so if you built speed, you then just blueprint it, convert it to the others, job done, without checking the recipes, because that's what I did.
Yeah, me too.
I've also just noticed that he has done that row report thing, it's fair to say, I guess. I've just found it when he was talking. He has hooked it up, but something's gone wrong because it's still outputting down there. Because it makes more here.
Oh, well, it's because he's requesting them and inputting them here.
Yeah, but it's got the controller that we mentioned, but it's not working as intended because they will get added.
Oh yeah, that is a bit odd. It looks like it's stopped now though, because these are they're not outputting into here. But something clearly went wrong. Maybe he realized that and just hasn't like cleared out the network yet. Like he realized it was an issue and wired this up, and then just hasn't gotten around to actually clearing out.
Yeah, could be. Also, if he's laid this concrete with bots, that would explain why there was never any construction robots available, so it's added more.
That's possible too, yeah. That's a good point. So yeah, that covers all that, and we're pretty almost done. There's not much left. There's oil, which we've already gone over oil multiple times, but, this is good. Productivity to everything, speeded, beaconed everything.
Oh, sorry, fuel from petroleum, but...
Oh dear. But it's only one, and there's no tanks either, which is good.
Yep. No, not a single tank.
Nope. A lot of oil storage, but that's not, if you're doing it in barrels, that's not bad.
Yep. No. I can't really say that. I stored 500,000 crude oil barrels in the mega base.
Yeah, it's really not that bad to store it, because this is actually something really quickly that's good to go over, right? Oil's infinite. It gets down to 0.1, and then it never goes below, right? It's infinite. So oil's actually a resource where it is advantageous to actually buffer it as much as you can, because it's infinite, so you want it always running and always producing oil.
Especially when it's at 0.1. Because
exactly.
Time is its resource.
Yeah,
for every second it has another 0.1 every second.
Yeah, and that may not seem like much, but over a minute with however, like say 50 oil wells or something, that adds up. So buffering this oil is definitely not bad. In fact, I would almost encourage buffering oil if you're doing it in barrels, in full barrels, not empty barrels. So
I love the attention to detail down here. The concrete and the brick. It shows a lot of care. Like he's done brick under the railway line. Stay away. You stay away.
Yep, I'm not crossing yet.
Good. One thing I did notice here is I think it's just a whoopsie. This signal needs to be a chain signal train.
Whew.
Because it is possible that a train could sit across this main line, which could cause an overall deadlock.
Yeah, so the chain signal will stop him back here.
Yeah.
And the normal one wouldn't have.
Yeah.
It is a loop-based system, but we were discussing beforehand, it's not, in this situation, not that bad. We've definitely seen worse, and we've even seen a lot worse non-loop based systems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
the one that wins me over here is that the entry and exit is very close. If the entry was up top here, what I would be worried about, say if the entry was here off of this main line, I'm just going to use belt to mark. So say if that came in like that, what would happen is if a train comes down here, it wants to go to the right. Instead of going down and across like he's supposed to, he'd come zooming in here, cut through here even though he's not an iron train, down here, and then out, which would possibly get in the way of the iron trains who are trying to do their job. Or worse, it could somehow deadlock the system. I've seen it happen. Trains that are not meant to go through stations.
Right.
Could clog the system if it was calibrated, so exactly so many trains can go in there. And then someone who's not an iron train goes in and messes everything up.
Yep. So, not bad. I just noticed this is a massive... You see this copper patch down to the bottom right?
Ooh.
It's actually really interesting. It looks like some sort of... I don't know what, but... Huge copper patch. Massive solar fields.
4 stations loading from it.
Oh, yeah, geez.
4 platforms. Yeah. Takes up a lot of space, though. If you I would have stuck them all together like we do in the version 15 sim.
Yeah, this does take quite a bit of space, but nice copper patch here. I think that's pretty much it. This solar layout looks like some adaptation of a Zuri layout. The first ones don't have roboports. It looks like he just took them out and put accumulators in, but these ones do. Good design, covered by the roboport. I would assume pretty close to correct ratio. Let me grab this here. 164 and 186. I'm going to guess that is pretty darn close. Let's see if I can calculate here.
Stand by. He's doing math.
0.88. So it is a little bit, isn't it? Like
0.84, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, so a little high, but that's not too bad. Really? I think that's it. Was there anything else?
I'd just like to say I really like his naming convention of his stations. If you just check the map, so he puts a little symbol at the beginning. Now that's to organize the stations. If we just can click on a station.
Yeah, let me.
Or bring up a list of the name list. So it'll sort them. So he's got all of his resources with exclamation mark at the first to group all them together. Outpost with a $sign. Then engineering a star and defenses a question mark. So it sorts out his train station not just alphabetically but by category, which I really like and I'm tempted to start stealing. So I like that idea.
Yeah, it is really cool that he has the different symbols for each type of station.
Yep. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that's going to do it for this one. There wasn't that much to go over. A pretty nice little mega base or very big starter base here. And, unique smelting design, which I might actually try at some point. Like, maybe not for late game stuff, because I think bots are still better. But early game, you could still do this as long as you have your filter inserters.
Yep, definitely.
But yeah, I think that's going to do it, guys. Any last words, Will, that you can think of?
Can I go find all the concrete missing holes now?
Sure, have at it.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Yeah, we'll see Will within the next few days. No stream. He's just going to be concreting this world.
Concrete all the things.
All the things. But yeah, so anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We'd love to hear any thoughts you have down in the comments. And until next time, we will see you later.
Bye.